Hello, everyone.
Oh, wait. I showed Amber's chair, Amber's empty chair. Wait, are we muted down here? I did. I showed Amber's empty chair. Amber ran to the bathroom and I goofed up. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone this morning? We have, Gabby's here. Hello, Gabby. Robin's Creations. Cynthia is here. Linda was our guest last week. So if you missed that, be sure to go back and watch. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Vanessa. Good morning, Kelsey. So today, guys, we have a really special guest. Bubbers, what are you doing? Bubbers, don't do that on camera. Today we have a special guest who's using the bathroom right now. You guys saw her chair there for a minute. But for those who are joining us for the very first time, we spend the first 10 minutes of every stream giving you guys news and updates and fun stuff. And we just kind of hang out and wait for everyone to get online. So we do have some news to announce. First bit of news, for those who weren't aware, Etsy Plus, which was originally, it's $10 and it was supposed to be marked up to $20 in January. They've decided to keep it at $10 due to feedback. So for those who were planning on canceling Etsy Plus after it moved up to $20, you can rest easy because it's going to stay at its $10 price, which I think that $10 is more than reasonable. Marc and I already voiced our opinions about them raising that price to $20 simply because we couldn't really see the value in $20. However, for $10, along with getting those promoted listing credits and getting the carousel banner and the different ways to display featured listings, I think that $10 is more than reasonable. So we are super duper excited for that.
Their investors didn't agree. Their stocks dropped like $5 when they announced that.
Yeah, their stocks went down, but that happens every time there's a major Etsy change. And then
every time they change something, they drop and then they spike again.
But Etsy stocks are still like at an all-time high.
If you 42, I think.
Yeah, so if you look at their stats like over time, they are fantastic right now. So that is a good sign. There are lots of Etsy commercials on TV. So that's super duper exciting. If you live in the US, you might be seeing those on TV. A few other announcements, guys. Pinterest Academy, run by Renee Christine, not my course. It is her course. However, I asked her if she would be willing to open it for the Handmade Alphas only. She said she can only do it for 3 days. Today is day 2 of that. So you only have until tomorrow night if you need extra help with Pinterest. The link to enroll in Pinterest Academy is down below. And we need to give her like the biggest thank you ever because she has not opened this course to the public to enroll in 2 whole years. But we had so many alphas who had asked me about it, who had asked for a more formal Pinterest training. And guys, I know Etsy like the back of my hand, but Pinterest is like foreign territory to me. In fact, I am personally enrolled in Pinterest Academy for that reason because I don't know squat about Pinterest other than I used it to like pin recipes there for a while, but now I'm using Pinterest to funnel people to my Etsy shop. And I have noticed, and I actually posted my stats in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. If you're not a member, you can join that down below. It's our free Facebook group. But I actually posted a screenshot of my stats in one of the comments on one of the Pinterest Academy posts. Maybe I'll make a repost of it. But Pinterest has turned into my second social media funnel. So Facebook is number 1 because I prioritize it. Pinterest is number 2. And the cool thing about Pinterest now is I am barely even on it anymore. But the way that Renee Christine teaches you with Pinterest Academy is she shows you how to automate Pinterest so that you don't have to work on it nonstop. So Pinterest actually directs more traffic to my Etsy shop than Instagram does. And I post to Instagram on a weekly basis for my business. So it's really, really crazy to see how Pinterest, even though I'm never on it, how it's still funneling more traffic. And I constantly have people who come to me and say, hey, I found you because I saw one of your pins on Pinterest. So that is a really great option if you would like to make Pinterest one of your funnels. I don't know if we'll be able to offer this ever again because we did kind of have to stretch to get Renee to do it, in the first place. She's really busy this time of year. But if you're interested in turning Pinterest into one of your funnels, the link for that is down below. And if you don't see it and you've been on this page for several hours, I actually just added that link to the page. So just refresh the stream and you should see it. Other news that we have coming up, Handmade Alpha Academy, you know, our course, this one is ours, not Renee's. It will be opening December 1st through the 10th. So make sure that you mark your calendars. And if you have any questions about Handmade Alpha Academy, make sure that you join our email list. It is the Handmade Alpha VIPs linked down below. When you join that list, you will receive emails from me. You'll receive all of my email tips. You will receive a big fat discount for Handmade Alpha Academy. And if you reply to any of those emails, if you have questions about HAA, all you have to do is reply to any email that we send you, and we can answer your questions about HAA if you have any, you know, just getting out the door. But you can expect a lot of information. We're going to do a live stream for Handmade Alpha Academy questions. We're going to do a bunch of stuff leading up to the Handmade Alpha Academy launch. And not only that, but every Friday, aside from Black Friday, because we're Etsy sellers too, we're going to be busy. But aside from Black Friday, every Friday leading up to the Handmade Alpha Academy launch, you guys are going to get to talk to real Handmade Alpha Academy all-stars. Last week, we had Linda. If you want to go back and watch that replay, she is an amazing Handmade Alpha Academy student who told her story. And then this week, we have Amber Marie is going to be talking about her story with HAA and the amazing following of fanatical fans that she has built. And then we have a couple other guests leading up to the launch that you're going to get to hear from as well. But you are free to ask Amber some questions after our stream ends today. If you want to know about her perspectives, because honestly, I can talk all I want about HAA. It's my course. But what really counts is you guys having the opportunity to ask our students. And if you don't want to ask live, you can also post in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. You can join down below. It's free to join. You can ask any questions that you want there. We have tons of students in there who can answer your questions from a student perspective. Last thing that I want to announce is that I will be speaking live at another event in Columbus this month. It will be on the 26th of November. For anyone who is in the Ohio area, 26th of November in Columbus, and I will be speaking at the Raw Artists. What day of the week is that? A Monday? A Monday. I will be speaking live at the Raw Artist organization, and you can Google Raw Artist Columbus, Ohio for tickets, but I'll also be sending out an email for tickets if you're interested in joining. There's going to be 1,200 people there, and for this particular live session, I will be giving away a Handmade Alpha Academy scholarship at the event. But not only that, we're going to be talking about branding. So at Bitchcraft, we kept it more relative to motivation, and we talked about mindsets. But at this one, we're actually going to be talking about branding and doing a branding workshop. So that's going to be super fun. There's going to be 1,200 guests there. This is going to cover artists of all mediums. So it's not just going to be physical art. We're also going to be talking about music and dance. There's going to be all kinds of artists there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So that is November 26th. If you guys want to mark your calendars, and I will be sending out links to buy tickets probably this week sometime after Pinterest Academy closes, because I still have to send some emails for Pinterest Academy. So, and then for those who already have Pinterest Academy, I did want to throw out the disclaimer that you will still get Pinterest Academy emails, because I'm not Renee. I don't know who already has it. And even if you tell me, I would have to like remove you from our whole list, and then you wouldn't get freebies and Q&A notifications and HAA discount and cheat sheets and all my goodies. So I'm going to leave you on the list, but just maybe if you already have it, just don't worry about those emails. Okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys before we get started with Amber is that if you have not downloaded our Black Friday survival guide, it is linked down below. And this is your last chance to get it and to use it, because it is already in effect. And the cheat sheet, some of the dates have already passed. So you guys need to grab that like right now if you plan to use it. Okay. So the Black Friday survival guide is linked down below. Right when you click that link, you're going to be asked to enter your name and your email. That is not going to opt you into my email list twice. I promise. We make sure that you're not opted in twice. But what you're going to get is my Black Friday survival guide. I think 30 different phrases to use in your Black Friday marketing. I think that's the number, but it's a list of phrases that I created for you guys. And you're going to get a copy of my video, which explains how I make $4,000 to $10,000, because I made $10,000 last year, $4,000 to $10,000 on Black Friday using my double dip strategy. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But guys, it is noon on the dot. I'm going to be unmuting Amber. Hold on a minute. As soon as I figure out how. Unmute.
She has to actually click unmute.
Oh, Amber, I think you got to unmute yourself.
Did it?
She did it. Yay. You guys are going to be meeting Amber, who just painted that awesome sign that's sitting behind her. Can you guys see it? You guys should all say how awesome her sign is. Amber, tell us about your sign.
Well, it's all in my branding colors, which I decided during Handmade Alphas, purple and gold and white.
So cool.
It was made by one of my friends. She has a scroll saw, I think. And I asked her whether she could make it, and she made it perfectly. And then I painted it this morning.
That is so awesome. Well, guys, Amber, as we've already said like multiple times, but I'll say it again, Amber is in the Handmade Alpha Academy, and today she's going to be sharing some really cool secrets about gaining and keeping, not just gaining, because gaining a fanatical following of fans is one thing, but keeping them there and maintaining them and spoiling them is a completely other, like, different universe. So Amber, let's talk about your business, the name of your business, what you do, why we love you. And then I'll show you guys what Amber drew for us. But, I guess I just spilled what she does. But for those who don't know Amber, she's going to tell you her story. So go ahead, Amber, take it away.
So I'm Amber Marie, and I am from a little town very close to Stonehenge in England. And I draw pet portraits in biro, which is a ballpoint pen for you Americans. And I'm called Amber Marie Biro Portraits because I think that a lot of people think that biros are just for writing, and I use them for drawing. All of my drawings are done in biro and coloured pencils for the softer colours. And people love it. They go crazy. They go nuts.
I love it.
I started drawing when I was very, very, very early on, very, very young. And I actually got rejected for art school. They said that I would fail if they accepted me as a student. So I went to do languages instead. I did my degree in French and Spanish. And during my third year abroad, because I did what we call an Erasmus year. So you go abroad and you spend the year in your country of choice, learning the language, being immersed in the language. I got glandular fever and I wasn't allowed outside. I wasn't allowed to go to my course. I basically was going to fail no matter what, because I wasn't allowed to go to any of my exams. And all I had to do with pass the time was a biro. So I literally, all I had was a biro, and I just sat there and I drew and I drew and I drew. And the one thing, for some reason, that I chose to draw was a dog. And so I just posted it on my social media for just, oh, look what I've done, because I've clearly not done anything else. And people went, oh, draw my dog, draw my dog. Oh my God, draw my dog, draw my dog. Will you draw my rabbit? Will you draw my chameleon? Will you draw my snake? And it started from there, really. I did my fourth year. I obviously went back to my university, did my final year, and I did pass. But I ended up graduating with such a long waiting list for orders that I thought I may as well stay doing this. And I've never looked back. And that was 3 years ago now.
That is so freaking awesome. I haven't got to hear your story, so that's really exciting. And Amber, you guys know that, like, our cats are the love of our lives. And Amber, of course, won our hearts over when she sent us this. This is not a photograph. This is a sketch of our cat. Where is Bubbers? He ran away. I was going to hold Bubbers up next to the sketch, but he decided that he didn't want to hang out. So guys, if you want to check out Amber after the stream, make sure that you wait until afterwards so you don't miss any of the goodness. But all of her links to her website, to her Etsy shop, to her VIP club, to her email list, and to her Facebook page are all linked down below. And on her Facebook page, she even has some videos of her actually doing some of her sketches. So that's like my favorite part, is that she actually records her process. But Amber, let's talk about, just really quick, because I don't think that we had an opportunity to discuss this over email, but just to give people like a ballpark idea, where do you, man, my hair is frizzy. Where do you consider, like, how do I word this? Where do you consider like your success rate right now? Like, compared to, I guess I'm trying to say, if you would have stuck with maybe the career that you had planned, that you went to school for, versus like where you are now, like on a level of happiness, on a level of income, how do you feel like about the choice that you ultimately made for your future?
Well, I did have the idea that I wanted to run my own French and Spanish school.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that languages are taught completely wrong in the world. Nobody wants to learn languages, and I wanted to change that. So I wanted to teach how to cook in French and how to dance in Spanish, that sort of thing, so that it was more immersive. But I honestly I don't think I would have been able to do it. I think I was way too ambitious. And honestly, I think I would have just ended up in a hotel answering phones in French and Spanish. I think that would have been my caliber of my language skills. I am fluent, but my grammar and my vocabulary are quite low down because I never really applied myself during the year that it counted. And I think that my job satisfaction would have been in the pan. I would have hated it because I felt like I could have been more, and then it would have been too late. By the time I'd accepted a job, I would have already started going down. Whereas this, I feel there's only one way up, and it's going to keep on getting bigger and better. And I love every day. And I mean, I wake up at 4 a.m. and you don't do that for a job that you hate. And I absolutely love it. And I think people know that I love it as well when they talk to me. It's not like, oh, how's the work? They want to know as well. They're just as interested in my job as me. And yeah, I honestly, I think that I'm earning more than I ever would have doing my French and Spanish, because I think that I would have been entry-level position and I would have probably just stuck at it. Whereas my ambition now is I want to get bigger. I want to get better. I want people to see. I want my artwork all over the world. I want people to like walk into a house and go, oh, it's a household name. It's Amber Marie on the wall. And that to me is more exciting than answering phones.
That is so awesome. And here's the thing is that when you have like a purpose to fulfill and you're actually helping people, because I think that that's one of the biggest things that, you know, Etsy shop owners and crafters, they get it wrong because they focus on, you know, make the money. Yeah, I don't care. I don't really like to do this, but I want to make the money. But that making the money isn't the thing that's going to get you out of bed every day and motivate you to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Because if that were the case, everyone would be excited to go to their 9 to 5. You know, everyone would be excited to get up and go to work. But when you're actually excited to fulfill someone's dreams and create something that they're going to value and you enjoy it and you love every bit of the process, that is what creates that happy life. So I'm just so excited to see how you've grown just in like the year that I've known you. Like you have defined this target market and this branding, and you have moved on to, I mean, it's just so upscale now.
And I haven't started.
Oh,
I've got so much more left to do, and I can't wait to do it because, you know, when you put so much work in and you don't see any rewards, you don't see any benefits to doing it, you're like, oh, I don't want to keep doing it.
Trudging along.
Every tiny little bit of teaching that you give me makes my business improve tenfold. I'm getting quite emotional about it actually, because I've never looked at my business in the way that I have since watching any of your videos, since doing any of your teachings. I've looked at my business completely differently. And now I get compliments every day from my customer service. I never had that. I never had people saying, oh, do you know what? Your customer service is amazing. I'm going to come back time and time again. They was like, oh, your drawings are lovely. And then that would be the end of the conversation. But now they want to talk to me. They send me updates about their dog and they email me. And they become my buddy, which is what my VIPs are called. They're my buyer buddies. They actually want to be my friends. And that to me is amazing. I mean, even one of my customers has become my maid of honor now. Crazy.
That is amazing. That is so crazy. Cool. Oh my God. So let's talk. I mean, this is like today's topic is forming those connections, and you call them your buddies. I teach this. Renee Christine teaches it, giving your followers or your audience a name. And you know what? That's the first thing that I did when I decided to create the Handmade Alphas. I'm like, what is like this badass name that we're going to call ourselves? Because, you know, often crafters, we give ourselves, you know, there's always like these cute little names. And I mean, Renee Christine's, I think that Besties is great, you know, because it's not something, you know, cutesy, but like I don't think that giving because friends, besties is like a friendship term. And when you find like a friendship term that holds you guys together like a family, like the Alphas is a pack. I think that it's just so strong. It's so great. And it keeps everyone together and they feel proud to own that word. Like HTU students are so proud to call each other besties, and Handmade Alphas are so proud to call each other alphas. And I mean, it's like Justin Bieber's fans are so proud to call themselves, what are they?
Believers.
Believers. Like they have that term that they're just so proud to hold on to. And you created a great one with your buddies.
So they get a loogie hocked on them.
What? Oh, what? Believers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Bieber is he's gone downhill a little bit, but
He's
let's not talk about Justin Bieber anymore. Let's talk about Amber's fanatical following of fans. Amber, let's talk about how you built this following, how you maintain and kind of nurture this following, and how you show your appreciation to this following because you're so good at it. And I see it happening like every day on Facebook. Let's talk about this and how you nurture it.
So my biggest advice is don't be afraid to give away free things. Giveaways, trial products, samples, anything you can give that has value to somebody else. It might be 12p for you, 12 cents. It might be absolutely nothing to you, but to someone else, that will make their day. And the amount of competitions and giveaways that I've run, that the winner messages me like, I never win anything. Oh, I'm so happy I won. I've never won anything in my life. And you've made that person's day. You knew you were going to do that. They didn't know they were going to win. And they entered going, oh, I'll enter another one. I suppose I'll give it another go. But you have made their absolute week. And then when they receive it, they're even more surprised because you put in that extra effort and you've wrapped it nicely and that you've put in a little thank you note. I have a little sticker now since I started HTU that says inspected by Muffy, who is my Westie dog, inspected by Muffy, quality control. They love it.
So cute.
They love it. And inside, and there's another little sticker and it says special delivery because they've ordered a Diddy drawing. And the little tiny extras that you put on your products that give them a little smile, even if it's really stupid. I passed it to Mr. Amber Marie or Scott, and he went, special. Are you kidding me? Really? And I was like, they love it. They love it because it makes their day. And the more you can make someone's day, the more they're likely to come back.
That's so awesome.
I started by posting in loads of breed groups. So that was my target audience, was people with pets. That was as much as I knew about my target audience. And I posted in Cocker Spaniels, which is a group, Cocker Crazy, which is a group on Facebook, and it has about 12,000 members. And I went, I want to do a Cocker Spaniel tea towel. I want to draw every single color that is available in a Cocker Spaniel, and there's about 15 of them, and they're on the grid. If you've got one of this specific color, please post it below. And it had 3,000 comments. And I had to go through because people love sharing photos of their pets.
Oh, yes.
They love it. And they're like, this is Maisie. She loves long walks in the sun and she loves leaves. And I'm like, okay, hello, Maisie. Always reply to them as well, because if you just ignore them, that could have been a potential customer. That could have been someone who absolutely loves your work and is putting the effort in to type out a longer comment than just posting a photo. They've actually gone, well, this is Maisie. Here's an introduction to her. They've tried. So why don't you try back?
And you acknowledge their baby. Like, that's their baby. And you are a celebrity who does this amazing artwork, and you acknowledge their baby. Like, so flattering.
Yeah, they were like, oh, yes, Maisie is adorable. She is. And I picked 15. 15 out of 3,000. I knew that I was going to have some disgruntled people. I just knew it. And there was one, and her name was Heather Gardner. And she drove me up the wall, because every time I posted a picture of the finished pieces, I posted work in progress, I posted pictures of the tea towel when it was finished and printed, because everyone that had their dog on the tea towel received one free tea towel. And they bought them in their tens. So they got one free tea towel, and I want 10, I want 20. I'm giving them out for Christmas. That is what everyone's getting for Christmas. Everyone's getting a tea towel. You get a tea towel. You get a tea towel. You get a tea towel.
The Oprah of tea towels.
Every single time I posted any photos or any updates on it, well, it doesn't have bourbon on it. Every time. And she drove me up the wall. So in the end, I went, okay, what I can do is I can offer miniature drawings, which are the same size as every little tiny spaniel on the drawing, for £20. It's about an hour, 2 hours of my time for £20. You can have a little tiny, and I called them Diddy drawings. And thus the journey begins. Guess who the first customer was?
Who was the first customer?
Heather Gardner. She went, oh my God, I need it in my life now. And she was like, can you print me a tea towel with my dog on? And I went, I can try, because I had to buy them in bulk. Like I bought 200 of them. And they were like, no, we can't do limited runs. And I'm like, oh. So I found an independent retailer who would screen print them herself. And she would do them. And she did that. And she was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And now that woman is my maid of honor.
That is so awesome. And she's probably like that supporter that no matter what you do, like she is your number one.
Fists out, like, yeah, like, let me at him. Who's being mean to you?
That is so awesome. You know what, when you said like her name, like my first thought was like, oh, I hope this person doesn't get mad because I didn't know. But that is so amazing. We'll tell her that I said hi or send her this video.
Heather? Yeah, Heather.
Heather. Hi, Heather. Oh, that is so amazing.
It was the bane of my life. Every time I saw her name pop up, and I was like, oh, no, not her again. And I was like, how can I make her happy?
That's so great.
And it's turned into my most profitable, my most popular drawing size, because people go, oh, it's a Diddy drawing. That's adorable. I want a Diddy. And I've actually found out that Diddy is the name for boobs in Scotland. And they're hilarious. They're like, I want a Diddy drawing. That took me 3 years to find out. But that was amusing. Somebody just sent me that message out of the blue as well. Oh, by the way, I received my drawing today. Did you know?
Did you know?
And I was like, oh, nice little tidbit of information.
Like when
a ditty here would be like a little part of a song. Like,
yeah, like
let me play
a little ditty. Or that's like when we did our live stream and we talked about fanny packs. And everyone was like, oh, no. And we're like, that's just what we call them. They're called fanny packs.
That one woman who helped me print that one tea towel, or that one limited run of one tea towel, she now prints all of my orders for me so that I have that option to do, okay, so now your dog or your cat has been drawn. You can have a tea towel, a mug, a coaster, a key ring, a magnet. I have a long spiel of things that they can have it printed on, and they get so excited because they're like, I've always wanted my dog to be famous, and they feel that is their dog being famous. It's their dog's being printed on things, or their dog's featured on my page, and they're like, oh, that's my Rufus. They love it.
You know what's great about this, and for those who don't know, and I know a lot of people will talk about scaling, because scalability is one of the big things that I think a lot of businesses don't think about when they get big. For example, I used to make one of each of my keys, or one or two of them, and that used to suffice. But now I actually had to hire in my dad, who may or may not be watching this, I'm not sure, but I had to hire him in because I am to the point now where I have to make 30 to 50 of each design, because I never realized that my audience would grow so big. So what Amber has done to scale is that she doesn't just draw the originals, but here, grab the coaster. She doesn't just draw the originals, but she's
actually using it. Give me a moment.
She's got to dry it off. She takes the originals and puts them on to different printed products. And then she does add-ons where you can add, for example, this one was for Halloween. It's the same sketch, but all she did was apply the little witch's hat, or you do wreaths and Santa hats too, right? Yeah. So she creates an add-on so that she can charge more for work that she's already done. That way she doesn't have to constantly draw. She has things ready to go. So maybe somebody who already has a tabby cat that looks like Bubbers might go to her website and say, wow, that cat looks just like my cat. I can then go buy this particular product. So that's how she's able to scale and continue making this income without constantly having to do work. Because then all she has to do is go put in, a print order for, the mugs with the prints on them, and she's still making profit off of the same sketch that she might have done 6 months ago. So that is that's not even the topic of today, but that is like one of those just superstar thinking big, scaling mentalities. And Amber, I haven't had an opportunity to tell you this, but there are so many comments like,
it's a lot of potential customers.
Oh my goodness. Emma Clinton said, with languages, you might have been mediocre. And with this, you're unique and can shine and success will continue as far as you want it to. Everyone's saying your energy is amazing. Tons of people saying, I need you to draw my cat. I need you to draw my dog. Your work is amazing. Your accent is lovely. Oh, wow. Holy moly. I've never seen so many positive comments. This is crazy. So wow, everyone is.
You talk about scalability as well. Scalability. Like, I don't print that myself. If I did print that myself, I would never have time to draw. This is one order from last week, and it's all cards. I wouldn't have time to do that, and I wouldn't have time to fold it. So I've outsourced. I outsourced my printing of cushions and mugs and coasters. I outsourced my cards and my little memo pads like your Alpha one. And I also outsourced all of my edits to one very lovely lady that I think she's watching. Her name is Alice. Shout out to Alice. I now pay her to do all my Christmas hat add-ons and stuff because I don't have time to do it.
Right.
She sits there on Photoshop all day and adds all the Santa hats and the holly wreaths and the snowflakes. She did all of the poppies for our Memorial Day. Remembrance Day is this Sunday for World War. For all the poppies. And she added poppies for me in dogs and cats' mouths.
Oh, that's so cute.
Set it as a profile picture so that I have my little warriors. So they're all in those Facebook groups, and their pet is their profile picture of a drawing I've done holding a poppy.
And that's advertising. Those are your fans. Your fans literally are the ones, they're changing their profile pictures to your work. And that is instant advertising, because when someone says, wow, that's so cool, who did that? And they immediately link back to you. So let's talk about for the alpha who's really like confused, because one of the biggest questions we get by email like a gazillion times a week is people who email us and they say, well, I created my VIP group, but I don't know what to post. I don't know how to engage. I don't know what to say. What would you tell these alphas who have these VIP groups that are just sitting and they don't know how to use it or utilize it, or really create that hype with those people that they're, that they have in the group?
I am leaving my VIP group is a little bit neglected at the moment because I have so much to do. But whenever I find a funny dog video or a video that represents how I'm feeling right now, like I posted a picture of a man really trying desperately to hold on to this horse, and this horse was running. It was like, this is me right now, just trying to hold on. And they love it because it makes them feel like they're more connected to you personally. They're not just seeing the public viewpoint of you. So I think you need to look at it as different stages. So you have the public, what everyone can see. Then you have the intermittent private and public, which is your VIP group and your mailing list. And it's little snippets of your personality that you might not feel comfortable posting on your page. For example, I talk about my caffeine addiction and how I need an IV drip of coffee. And I share little photos of Muffy the Westie that I'm like, this isn't really relevant for my page. Like, wouldn't really add anything, wouldn't have any value. But I think my customers would love to see this because she's climbed onto a huge pile of duvet to lie on it. And they love it. It's this little tiny private snippets of your life. And also I ask questions, a lot of questions, like, would you prefer if I did this or this? Would you prefer if I did a dog or a cat next? Like, it could be as simple as that. And they love it because they feel like they are involved in your business. You could completely disregard what they say as well and go, well, actually, I think my opinion is more valid because I'm a business owner. but you're also doing targeted audience research. Like you're finding out what you're avid, and it's not just your fans who are on your page, your avid fans who want to be in your group, who want the discounts, they want everything you could possibly offer, their opinion. And why would you disregard that? You have an open source to ask them any questions you want about your business. Should I do this or should I do that? What would people prefer? And they answer it because they feel like they're connected to you. They want to answer because they're like, oh, she thinks I'm important. My opinion is important. And that's what I do. I ask her, would you prefer if I drew a Alaskan Malamute or a Siberian Husky? And then it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Because they feel connected.
And you know what's funny is I have people who message me who ask me that question about like their business, like, hey, should I make red bracelets or blue bracelets? I'm like, I'm not your target audience. I don't know. You need to ask your people. You can kill two birds with one stone by doing that. Now, one thing that you mentioned that I kind of want to backtrack on is how you we'll use the coffee addiction and the guy, pulling the horse as examples. A lot of people are afraid to open up and be vulnerable in their VIP groups. And they say, nobody wants to hear about me. But in reality, showing a little bit of vulnerability is what makes you a human being. And it's what makes you relatable to that person, because people naturally try to grip onto what they can relate to. It's part of our herding mentality where, if you're the odd man out of the cave and, the tribe is kicking you out, you're the one who's out in the cold and the rain, freezing to death. So we have this tribe mentality where we want to pack together. Even the introverts, we still have that need to belong in some way. So we naturally gravitate towards people who are like us, who have problems. And, you don't have to talk about like, a crazy problem, like if you're having issues like in your marriage or, things like that, but you can be vulnerable about the little things. I got a coffee addict. I mean, I'm addicted to Diet Coke. I cannot stop drinking Diet Coke. It's like probably the same as a nicotine addiction to me. I have to have Diet Coke. And I know it's bad for me, but I can be vulnerable about things like that. And with our students, like in Handmade Alpha Academy, I don't do it as much in the public group, but with our HAA students, I'm in there like without makeup on, my hair is a mess. Yesterday we were streaming while I was editing photos, and I was like, yeah, guys, I waited until the last minute to do these. Do as I say, not as I do. But I was totally like honest. So have you found that those types of posts, tend to really spark that?
And going on like furthering that, I have an Amazon wish list, and people send me coffee as presents. That's because awesome. They love me and they know that I'm struggling. So they'll send me, I've had chocolate hampers, I've had a Bluetooth speaker, I've had champagne, I've had flowers sent to me, I have my coffee. So my favorite coffee is Nescafe Azera, and I get a tin on average every 2 months, just surprised in the post with a little note saying, good luck with all your orders. I know you're trying really, really hard. I know you're working your fingers to the bone. Like just there to like, know I'm thinking of you. And it is such a lovely touch because I spoil my customers, but they want to spoil me back in return.
Yeah.
And that's a lovely feeling. And I never know that it's going to arrive. Like it just pops up. I'm like, oh, it's a book that I've been wanting to read. And they go, oh, how's the book? And then that starts a conversation with them as well. And they know what kind of character I am because they can look at the kind of things that I've put on my Amazon wish list. And they go, oh, she likes these kind of books. Or, oh, she likes this wine. This is my favorite wine too. That sort of thing. And it's really cheap things on there. But they feel like they can kind of see my shopping list or my Christmas list of the sort of things. And I say, it's not just for my customers. My family use it as well. It's not a send me gifts right now. It's a, like, this is what I like to buy.
It's who I am.
Yeah. And I've even had customers who I've finished their order and I've sent it. They've received it and they go, now I know why you accept gifts. Not ask for gifts, accept like it's like a permission thing. I was like, oh no. She said, I'll send you a bottle of champagne in the morning. And I'm like, you don't have to. And she's like, no, I want to. And that I've made their day, but they have no idea how much that gift means to me because I don't get a lot of social interaction. I'm in this room from 4 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night on my own. The only person I see is Scott and the postman. And that little gift with that little note is so personal that it really amplifies what I want to keep on doing. I never thought that I would be the kind of business that would receive gifts in the post.
Right, because it's transactional. It's like you do the service. You do a service, and most people think like I receive product, that's bottom line. You don't give Walmart a gift after you buy something, on walmart.com. You don't send Amazon a gift when you buy something on Amazon. So when that person has reached the point where they're sending you gifts, it's no longer a transactional market, a market mindset. You have transitioned into what is known as a social norm. You've moved out of market norms where it's completely transactional, and you've moved into a social norm mentality. So that is so freaking huge. Amber, we have some questions that are pouring in. So you want to go ahead? Are you cool to turn to questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. All right. So guys, go ahead and type those into the comments. I see that we have a couple of them, but real quick, while everyone's typing them in, Amber, because I know that we have a lot of people who have asked about Handmade Alpha Academy, and I'm trying not to give too much of my perspective since it's mine. It wouldn't make sense for me to talk about my course. Can you let me know, because this is the first time that Amber and I have ever spoke like face to face, aside from, in the Facebook group and email. Amber,
miles away, but we're face to face.
Yes. Amber, tell me, what have you gained from HAA? Are you happy with it? Are you happy with everything that's in there so far? Is there anything that I need to do to improve it? While we have a minute, this is me picking your brain publicly because I think that vulnerability is like very important for both of our business models. So I want you to tell me, like, what has it done for you? Is it where it needs to be? Is there anything that our viewers should know from your perspective while they're getting their comments typed in?
I joined back in May when you first opened it, and I was umming and ahhing whether I wanted to purchase it. And I was like, well, I can't quite afford the whole amount, but I can afford the installments at a push. Now I can afford the whole thing every single month. That's profit. That's not just, it's in my bank account, but to use for rent and stuff. I have that spare, and that's never happened before. I put £2,500 into my savings account, and I've never had savings. And that's just incredible to me, because
oh my God,
the amount of times that I felt like I wasn't pulling my weight in my relationship, that Scott was squirreling away money to help us buy our house. And I was like, I can pay the rent this week, and that's about it. And I was like, and that's at a push. Like, the amount of money that I've made, I could have paid back Handmade Alphas in one fell swoop within a month, just for your teachings. There's no other two ways about it. That's what happened. And since then, even though my Etsy is very, very new, I made enough to pay for Handmade Alphas just on Etsy, just in card sales.
And you have a website, what do you get more sales on, your website or your Etsy shop? Website.
My website, I made 23,000 this year.
Woo! Dang, girl.
And then Etsy, I've just paid for Handmade Alphas, so that's the sort of amount that I've made on Etsy.
So that's like stacked on, and you use Etsy as a funnel for your website, correct? That is so ingenious. Because what she does is she gets those Etsy sales, but then when
single card, £2.75, free shipping, they get one card, and then they come back for a portrait.
And they get it from your website after that. That is so freaking
awesome.
smart.
And because they order on my website, then at checkout, they can tick the little box of, say, subscribe to email list, whereas you can't really do that on Etsy. It doesn't really work. They have to go through the link. And I think that's quite distracting for some people. But on my website, they can tick the little box. They can become a customer. They can have an account. And they can join my VIP list, because there's a pop-up on my website within 5 seconds of being on there. It's like, join my VIP group, become a buddy, receive 15% off. And they do it before they order. They go onto my VIP group, join, wait, and then I accept them. Then they go and order twice as much as they were originally going to purchase because they got that tiny little bit of discount.
That's
from
so
one sale.
That is so awesome. Oh, wow. Questions just started pouring in. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Junk Journal Shop asks, is it Johnny or Joni? Hi, this is Johnny or Joni. I'm not sure. I do tons of custom orders and I get a bit overwhelmed at times. I can't keep up with them all. How do you say no without chasing a customer away? Have you ever said no to a customer, Amber, when you haven't had time?
Yes.
How do you say no?
So I was fully booked for Christmas in the first week of September. And I've pretty much had to say no to every single person that's inquired via my page since then. But I've just said, I'll book you in March. And they're pretty happy with that. If they want it, they'll wait for it. But I also can raise my prices.
Oh, yes.
Your prices. And I've made the mistake now. I know in January, that is the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be raising my prices because the reason why you're overwhelmed is you have too many orders. It's not a case of, oh, I'm going to price everyone out of my market. You're actually just going to even it out. You have too many orders that you're selling at too low a price. And then you have like no sales because they're charging too high a price. You don't want to meet somewhere in the middle where you have a good amount of orders, you're making a good profit, you feel comfortable. And if you want to do a sale to sell them cheaper to a load of people, do a flash sale, do a Black Friday sale. If you feel like your prices aren't keeping you up enough with orders, to do a sale, but keep your prices normal.
Where did you learn that, Amber?
I learned that in Handmade Alphas and from my husband that has been telling me off since like I began.
Oh, yes. And I remember you told me that. You're like, he's telling me.
Yeah. Which I learned through Couples Boot Camp.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about Couples Camp.
Yeah. I learned that sometimes men do man word things and it is quite difficult to understand them as women. And they're not trying to insult us. They're not trying to demean us. They're not trying to make us feel like we're not enough. They are saying the truth because they want you to do better. They know you can do better. And there was a little bit of a tiff, I'm going to be honest. But it was because he said, no, you're charging pence for £1. And he said, you need to raise your prices. You're overwhelmed because you have too many orders. Raise your prices. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to do that.
And Couples Bootcamp, for those who are unaware, that is a bonus that you get when you join Handmade Alpha Academy. But I'm also offering it to those who enroll in Pinterest Academy by Renee Christine, which is linked down below. That is a mini course that Marc and I created. We have never recorded a course together. So it sounds a little cringy. We sound a little bit uncomfortable working together. Like when you actually listen to it, huh?
It preaches the vulnerability aspect that you want a polished item, but relationships aren't perfect.
No.
Like it shows that there's a new thing for everyone. You have to do something that scares you. And I'm sure Marc was nervous before he recorded it because he was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
But now you've done it now. So next time you do it, it'll be easier.
Of course. Yeah. And we're thinking about re-recording it later. If nobody said anything yet, everyone's like, yeah, it's great. So if anyone says anything, we might re-record it later. But let's see. Sandra has a good question. She wants to know what type of freebies you offer.
So I'll go get it.
Go get your freebies.
My freebies.
Amber's going to get her freebies.
I include a little tiny sticker.
You sent me so many of those of bubbers.
And they cost me about 2p per sticker. And I print them off in batches of 24. So I print the pages and then I cut them all up. And then when I'm bored in the evenings, I'll just sit and I'll print a load of stickers and I'll cut them up. And every order gets one. And they go, oh, I love the sticker. And I try and match it to what their breed is. Or for example, now I'm doing penguins and polar bears and reindeers and things like that. But for example, if they've ordered a Border Terrier portrait, I'll try and match it with a Border Terrier sticker if I've got it. Don't worry about trying too hard because it's a freebie. They weren't going to get it anyway.
Right. It's unexpected.
it makes their day even more special because like, oh, and you gave me a border terrier sticker. I can never find any of them. And then that gives the segue into, I can print your portrait onto a sheet of 24 stickers if you'd like. They go, yes, please. What's the link? So the freebies have to be something that either you offer yourself or they can just eat, for example, like a little candy bar or a sucker or something like that, because it makes their day. And it doesn't have to be expensive.
That's so awesome. And that's one of the things we actually teach about inserts and freebies and the psychology behind inserts and freebies in HAA. And like Amber said, it doesn't have to be something expensive. What counts is that it's unexpected because they weren't expecting it to begin with. And when they get it, it like she said, it makes their day. So Erica asks, are you only active mostly on Facebook or on other social media too? So like what your funnel, your main social media funnel?
Facebook. It's always been Facebook. My Instagram is shocking. It's terrible. I never know what to post, but that is going to be my next plan, is Instagram, and also to make my Etsy perfect, because Etsy is that funnel. It's that extra funnel that I never knew I could have. And I started my Etsy store this year in March, and I've had so many more future sales because of the Etsy store that I never would have had it before. They're brand new customers that have never seen me before. Whereas my Facebook, I had to go and find them, if that makes sense. Whereas Etsy has driven them to me.
That's awesome. And yeah, and you know, Etsy is like, if you do have a website, but you still want to have an Etsy shop, a lot of sellers don't realize that your Etsy shop is like having a store in a mall. And I talk about this all the time, but your Etsy shop is like having the store in the mall where people are constantly, you know, there's traffic there. People are there to shop. And then your website is your store out in the woods. And nobody really knows that it's there unless you've got good SEO and, you know, advertising, which is, you know, the billboards that are leading people to your store. But when you've got that Etsy, what you do is when they receive that order, you can put a little insert in there that says, hey, you can save, you know, X% off on your next order by shopping direct from my website, which does not violate Etsy's terms of service, as long as you're putting it in the package and not in, you know, on your Etsy shop, if that makes sense. So that's a really good tactic.
What I've done is I've selected certain products to sell on Etsy that I wouldn't necessarily sell on my website, so that if somebody stumbled on either store, they would be getting something different.
Right. So you got grabbers.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eddie the Metal Chick asks, I've tried sharing little bits about myself, things I'm interested or like mostly on my Pinterest. Do you think that this could be a good idea? I assume that she means like a Pinterest business account, and she kind of shares things that represent her personality. I think that I'll go ahead and kind of grab at this one a little bit, because Amber, I assume you're not like big on Pinterest right now, are you?
I have no idea what I'm doing on Pinterest other than for my wedding.
Right. Yeah. Because Pinterest is one of those funnels that it's like you either know how to use it or you don't. The thing is, you have to be skillful about it. I mean, I'm not really big on Pinterest. I'm actually in Pinterest Academy by Renee Christine, so I can offer a little bit of insight on how you can use it. But, you know, she's really the queen of this. What I will say is that with Pinterest, you need to use Pinterest to kind of figure out how your products fit into someone else's world. On my Pinterest account, and with the help of Pinterest Academy, what I like to do is create almost boards that pertain to a certain niche within my market. For example, I have one board that's just labeled World of Dragons. And I have some of my dragon keys pinned with a bunch of different dragon art and things that fit into that world for that ideal person. But then I've also got one called Fairy World, where I only pin things that are in hues of pink. So you open this board and it's just all pink. And then every once in a while, you'll be scrolling through and you'll see one of my keys themed in pink, almost fitting into this magical world that I've created on Pinterest. So it's not so much about you. You're not sharing things about you. You're trying to use Pinterest to paint the picture of your ideal customer. But if you want more, like a more in-depth Pinterest training, you have until tomorrow night to enroll in Pinterest Academy. And that link is down below. Renee Christine only opened that for the Handmade Alphas. She could only do it for 3 days. Tomorrow is the last day to enroll. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. You can click the link if you want to read more details about it, because there's a lot of good information. Let's see. Melissa asks, hopefully this hasn't been answered already. Amber, do you have your customers sign a consent form so you can use your drawings of their animals on products that you sell to others? Do you do like a consent form, or do you just ask them like, hey, do you care?
Don't even ask them.
It's your artwork. Like she drew it, like it's their pet.
And it's in my terms and conditions. And if they have an issue with it, they'll tell me very early on, because they know that that's what I do. I mean, if you go on my page, you'll know that I post the same image over and over and over again. You can go into the shop, you can have it printed. And I think that they just assume that that's.
Yeah, because it's not like a photograph. You're not taking their photo and printing it. It's your work. You drew it. It's not like it's their child. It's you know, it's an animal that you drew, and it's just as easy as if you went to a zoo, took a picture of a toucan and drew it, you know. So I think that
this photo though, for example, it's been in a studio, they've taken the photo, it's got watermark on it, I will not draw it unless
that's smart.
Photographer's permission, because I've been burned before. And actually, this is a segue back into crazy fans. I had a photographer come at it for the 2 beagle puppies that were drawn.
Oh,
and
yes.
That's my photo. You do not have permission to use it. I usually charge £350 for people to use my photo to draw. However, could I have a portrait instead?
That is
that they'd rather a portrait by me than for me to pay them to use their photo.
Your portraits turn into almost like, and I mean, you can do this with so many different products, but your work can almost be a currency for and not just like when you get in a bind, but you can use your products almost as a currency for things like, for example, if you needed to trade a product for like a photographer or a service, your products are valuable enough to use as a currency. And I don't think a lot of people consider that. Oh, Emma asked, did Amber do Handmade Titan University by Renee Christine as well? No.
Yeah.
Amber is exclusively an HAA. Linda last week is an Handmade Titan University and HAA student. Amber is just HAA. Susan asked, does she have an email list, which is more successful for her Facebook page or group? So Amber's email list is linked down below if you guys want to join that. But I think she's asking which is more successful for her Facebook group or page or group. I don't know if she's asking if your Facebook page,
Which one is best? I'm guessing.
Maybe we'll go with that. Which one is better for maybe like fun, like, you know, your most valuable asset in terms of social media, your Facebook page or your group? Because one can't exist without the other. But which one do you converts the best?
So my Facebook page has like 10,000 likes on it. So, I mean, it's going to have more people just seeing things by osmosis, really. And then you've also got my VIP group, which is private. So no matter who comments on it, who likes the post inside it, no one else beyond my group is going to see it. So that's where you kind of keep it a bit more fun, a bit more interesting, a bit more personal. But I cannot express the importance of having an email list. Didn't have one before this year. Thought they were pants. Thought they were a bit like a blog. Hate blogging.
And then I made her.
And then she made me. And
I made her.
I have 440, I checked this morning, subscribers on my email list. And every single time I send a campaign, I guarantee there's a sale.
And Amber, 440, when did you start your email list?
June.
That
HAA.
That is insane. That is insane. That is so many people. Do you realize that on my Art by Starla Moore list that I have had for, I think, four years now, I believe that I have 9,000, but that doesn't count like inactives. So for that, you are growing at such a fast rate. You have such a defined audience. That's absolutely freaking amazing. We might need to do another Q&A later on just about how you build your email list. Claudia wants to know, how do you make people answer your questions like in your group? Something I port something and ask what color you prefer, what's your favorite color, or something else, but nobody answers. So she asks questions like, what's your favorite color and things, but no one answers her.
In the group? Yeah. It's important to know how Facebook groups work. So if you're not an active member, if you're not commenting and liking things within that group, you're not going to see it on your timeline, whether you're the admin or not. And I'm in like 1,000 groups. I barely see them on my timeline because I'm not active in them. So
Right.
You need to make sure that there is at least 1 or 2 people that you can always count on to comment on your posts, whether it's your mom, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your cousin, your spouse, anyone. If they can comment on it, that bumps it up and it starts to get people to comment and to see it. Because if they can't see it, they're not going to comment. It would never ever be a case of scrolling past like, oh, I'm not interested in answering that, because they're in your group for a reason. They just can't see it because it's not an active post in their timeline. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and in HAA we call those power wolves. So the people who are in your group to help you kind of get that start. And another thing that when it comes to asking questions, like people might not want to say what their favorite color is, but what they might want to share, just to get the ball rolling, so you can start showing up in their timeline, is ask them things about, something that's important to them, because a color might not be important to them. But when you say, show me a picture of your cat, people want to show you. Like, no matter what niche you're in. Like, Amber, how many comments would you get if you asked someone, if you said it's cat day, everyone show me a picture of your cat?
Everyone would comment, and I would say that I would get about 500 comments in my group. On my page, I posted a giveaway, and it already has 3,000 comments, I think. Because I have shared it once.
Because it's important.
Share it for me. I don't share it.
That is amazing. Let's see. Aisha, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Oh, this is a good question. This is a personal question, Amber. I'm also an artist, but I suffer from nearly paralyzing fear of disapproval. I know my work is good, but what can I do about those customers who are unable to be pleased no matter what? So like, the bridezillas of the art world.
I think it depends on what you're doing. For example, if I spend about 24 hours, depending on what size the drawing is. If I spend 24 hours on a portrait and I get that comment back saying, nah, I'm not really keen, could you change it? That crushes me too. And I don't think there's any way of getting past it. It's just make sure that your customer is updated at all points to save you time. You don't want to spend that long on that thing to find out that they didn't like the mock-up that you never sent them. So show them a penciled out guideline and say, this is what I plan out, or even just a photoshopped photo, really crude. They've sent you the worst photos. Guarantee you I've had some photos that were taken with a potato. The worst photos ever. So you like mashing it together on Photoshop, and this is my composition, this is my plan. I've even used that graffiti tool on my phone and drawn another ear where they've cropped the photo. And then I like, oh, could you add in his ear that is more upright? So I draw it in really badly and I send it to them. They go, oh, yes, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. But they're not artists. The reason why they're coming to you is because you are. And they can't imagine it in their head. They also don't know what your capabilities are. Some people say, oh, I can't get all 11, Susie, 11 of my dogs in one photo together. Could you draw them together? And I go, I can draw them from separate photos. No problem. And they go, oh, okay, brilliant. But if they didn't know that, and then you tried to draw from one photo of 11 dogs that was really bad and they were all posed wrong, just be as considerate as you can be for someone who has no idea about art. And then you're onto a winner.
And communicate. Just communicate.
Yeah. And you would do it with a normal Etsy order anyway. That's why the swipe files are so important. Is I've received your order. Thank you very much. I've processed your order. Thank you very much. I've posted your order. Thank you very much. Have you received your order? Thank you very much. Keeping them updated at every point. And if you don't, and then you spent 24 hours on an item and then go, hope you like it. And they were like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. They're trying to be as honest as they can be. And would you rather they were honest and said that they don't like it? Because I've had a customer who said, I received your portrait 3 years ago and I've put it in the loft because I don't like it.
Why are you telling me this now?
can you do another one for me if I send it back? And I was like, no, why didn't you tell me when it first? I was embarrassed. Tell you what, this morning, she ordered more portraits from me.
That's crazy.
So she's given me a second chance.
And you've probably gotten, I mean, not that you weren't good, you know, back then, but I mean, I know my keys like 5 years ago were not what they are now. So you've probably like exceeded what she even expected, like round 2.
Yeah, it happens. And I think every artist has it. You can't expect everyone to be always happy.
Right.
So go in thinking, okay, how can I make sure that they know exactly what's happening?
Right.
Because they have no idea.
And Aisha actually commented back down about it. They said, I've spent ages on certain projects. Sure, they'd love it, only to find out it was the opposite of their aesthetic preference. That's another thing that I would definitely guarantee is you understand exactly what they want from the get-go. Mm-hmm. Don't start on something if they say, yeah, I want this kind of image of this. It'd be very clear, like, okay, you want this exactly, right?
What color, what pose, what, you know, what are you going to be using it for? Where are you going to put it? You know, just
make sure both sides are completely transparent and understanding of what the other person wants and can do.
And that goes with anything. Kelsey wants to know, do you have any trademarks? How do you protect your work? Watermarks have not worked. I used to make cards and prints, but when I found one of my designs made into a $1,200 gold pendant, I totally gave up.
Wow. I don't trademark anything because my fans recognize my work, and that's what's important to me. If they can see that I've done it and it's from my page and it's legitimate and it's authorized and everything like that, and they're happy, but they go onto another shop and see my products in there, they immediately come back to me and go, oh, I've seen this shop selling your stuff. Are they allowed? And I'm like, yeah, no, they're a stockist. It's okay. But having your little warriors so loyal to you that they are your little minions, they're going out into the world and making sure that their baby's safe. And it's lovely. It feels very secure and safe. And I don't mind as much. If somebody's stealing my work, they're going to steal my work, whether I put a watermark or a trademark on it. People do copyright infringement things all the time for Disney. And if they're not scared of Disney, they're not going to be scared of me and my lawyers. So what's the point?
But the thing is, you're still making money. Like you're still like, if they want to try, you know, their products aren't going to be as good and they're not going to be able to replicate. And if somebody came back and said, hey, you know, I like this, you know, red Cocker Spaniel, can you draw a white one? The person isn't going to be able to do that because they can't replicate your work. So, you know, it's one of those things where we have people all the time who steal our images from my business. We have people who create keys that look like ours, and then we'll have someone message us and say, you know, oh, this person's copying you. And I'm like, whatever, they can't beat me. You know what? That's what the point of Handmade Alpha Academy is building the dominant alpha dog shop where all of the competitors are just looking up at you like you're this untouchable, you know, alpha wolf on the top of the mountain, and you are protecting that spot at the top. And Amber is at the top. Yep. No one can compromise, you know, her position is not compromised by the copycats because she is the only person who can do what she does. And even if they steal here and there, no one's going to be able to do exactly what she's doing, and she's still making buku money because she's the artist.
And the thing is you can only steal what you can see from the front end. You don't see all the work that's going in on the back end. You can't replicate that.
Yeah. Yep. Erica says, how do you know for sure if the photograph that your client sends you to be drawn belongs to a photographer? Do you ask personally?
You'll know. You'll just know. There's bad, and then there's my customer bad, and then there's really bad. But then you will know if a photographer's taken it because it'll be well lit, clear, posed well. Like there's no comparison really. And usually they will watermark their work. So you'll if it's got a watermark on it, steer clear, like categorically. There's sometimes when you can tell that the person messaging you is the photographer themselves because the watermark will be the same name. But even then, I still go, I need permission to draw this because it's your work. And I don't want anybody to feel like their work is being used and abused because I wouldn't want it from my point of view.
Right.
Awesome. Good answer. Melissa it looks like this is a two-parter. What's your view on collection collabs, not just joint email marketing? Have you ever done any, or would you ever, if the right person came along with a collab concept? Like if they didn't want to influence your next collection's design at all, they just wanted to make their own usual type of items, but in a way that tied in with your collection. So I think like if they wanted to, Melissa, are you probing Amber to try to get her to collab? I can't tell. Like if somebody who fit within your niche wanted to do some type of collection collab, we'll just say, for example, someone makes tote bags and they want to get some of your prints made on a tote bag and you're splitting, we'll say commissions 50-50. Is that something, this is just
do that because I love drawing and I just want to draw. I don't want to make tote bags. No, otherwise I would just make tote bags.
Right.
And the more people that see my work and can get my work on more things, the more crazy they're going to be about the future things that I can produce. I did plant pots for Mother's Day. I didn't know anybody would buy one, but they bought them. The crazy customers bought plant pots with their dog on it, holding a rose for Mother's Day with a little cactus inside. Whiteboards for shopping lists and things like that. I do little tiny collabs with people, but it's never been considered a launch because I didn't know about launches when I did them.
right.
But I would be more than happy to do a full-fledged alpha launch because my designs are just sat on my hard drive. If you want to use them because it's only going to be more advertising for me.
Because you are you. I mean, that art is you. That represents you, and you represent your own name. So that's like powerful. That's one of those things where you own it. You are the entity. There is no other. It is just.
And I share my customers as well. For example, I posted, I can't remember her name. She does the coloring in maps. And I bought her US state coloring in map.
Oh, she's here. Oh, why did you do this to me? Now I feel bad because she's one of our.
I've written down her name.
I am having a brain fart right now. Anna, darn it.
Yes. Anna, I posted a picture of my coloring in map and I tagged someone I knew loves coloring in. In fact, I sent her a pack of my pens in her order because she was like, I love stationery. I want more stationery. So I tagged her because I knew she'd love it. She's now one of the people that I see is always commenting on Anna's posts on her page.
That's great.
So I'm sharing my crazy fans. I'm like, take them because you deserve them. You deserve crazy people.
That's like the benefit of Handmade Alpha Academy is like when we see that someone's having a launch, we're like, oh man, what's her face is having a launch. Everybody get in her group right now. Everybody help her out. We need to cheer her on. We all need to watch her launch all together. And that's just like how we are because we've got this little family. And Yalissa, who's in Handmade Alpha Academy, has a really interesting question for a student. I think she just wants to hear your perspective, but she wants to know what the most valuable thing that you've learned from Handmade Alpha Academy is, because Yalissa is a fellow like Alpha rock star too.
If I was to say in my personal life, it would be the couples boot camp.
Really? That's so surprising.
Yeah. I felt very not unloved. I don't know what the word is, but I felt like I wasn't meeting up to his standards all the time. I thought, I'm not putting any money in the savings account and I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. You come home every day. What have I done? I've been at home all day. Like, it wasn't the case at all. Just there wasn't like communication between us. That was not what he was thinking. It was, he came home and he's like, oh, she's tired. Oh, she needs me to leave her alone. I'll go in the living room and I'll play my Xbox and leave her alone. And I thought he was trying to avoid me. Things like that. It really helps you actually be more motivated and more ambitious because you feel like your love life and your home life is on point. Because it wasn't before, it actually was. If that makes sense.
And it's working in unison now.
Business-wise, mailing list. I don't know why I didn't set one up before. It was a stupid decision to wait so long because my email list could have been huge by now. And every time I do a launch, and I do mini launches, I haven't launched anything yet, but whenever I do a mini launch, I easily make £300 in sales just from the VIP mailing list because you can see the clicks. of
And
how
it's
many.
guaranteed money. It's guaranteed because you know that when you publish that email, like there will be a sale. And we even have a question right after that that pertains to this. Robin's Creations asks, how did you grow your email list so fast? We need to do like a whole Q&A on this. Do you have like just like a short answer, and maybe later we'll do like a big like if you were to give like just like one tip for growing email lists fast?
So I started by doing my mini launches on my Facebook page. And then when you do comments, when people comment on your page, the first time that you comment underneath all those comments, they all get a notification. And I say, well, this deal has ended now, but if you would like to be notified the next time anything like this happens again and be the first ones to snap up this bargain before they sell out, please join my mailing list. And they go, oh, yes, I want to be first because I missed out on this one. And every single time somebody missed out on an offer, on a discount, on a giveaway, I give them the email list link. I post it everywhere. And then I also have my website. Whenever they check out, there's the little tick box. But if you're on Etsy, put it under the fold. And I think I nailed my Etsy under the fold, above the fold, because it says, want to receive 15% off of every single order for the rest of your life, ... Then you click read more. You want that, then your email list, because that is the best marketing tip I've ever read. And I thought, why isn't this just in people's minds? Like you click read more. And even when I pretend that I'm writing one to give anybody else the idea of, oh, you need to do it above the fold. What's that? And I go, and then I get to the read more bit, and I nailed it every single time on Facebook. You need to like know how many words there are before it starts going, okay, you've written too much. We're doing a ... for you now. And I've done that on my Etsy, and I seriously do it.
Relevant information first. That way they see what's important so they don't have to click read more. Let's see. It is 1:06. Are you ready for lightning round?
Go for it.
Because there are so many, and I don't know if we'll be able to get through them all unless we do lightning round. So let's do like...
Well, I could always do a post in the Handmade Alphas and say, if anybody wants any more questions, just tag me.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Okay, so we'll tackle these, what we have right here. And then we'll try to tackle what we have right here. And then anything like, who's the last comment? Jenny Lynn is our last comment. So anybody after Jenny Lynn, join the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. Amber will make a post in there. She will answer any leftover questions, whether those be about her work, whether that be about her email list, whether that be about her fanatical. What?
Whether it's draw my dog.
Draw my dog. Yeah. If you guys want to go, buy something from her, whether that is Handmade Alpha Academy student perspective questions, I will stay out. I will not read them. If you guys want to ask her privately, just be kind, please, or else I'll have to send Marc to go get you. And he has a show on Sunday, so he's already not going to.
Already a busy boy.
He's a busy boy.
Don't make me come for you.
Don't make him come after you. All right, lightning round. Here it goes. Melissa, have you ever considered your art as clip art? Is it worth it?
No, I've never done that. I have looked into selling my designs online, but I don't think that it's worth it for the love connection between two businesses that are working hand in hand. I cannot stress the importance of having an actual collaboration with someone someone you're friends with, someone you can depend on. If you're just selling your designs to Bob in marketing over at Coca-Cola, like, you could end up on a massive billboard, but you never got any of the credit because you just sold it on a thing. I can give my designs to a friend who runs a business. They give me their customers. I give them my customers. Collaboration.
Yeah. And clip art is not, you don't buy. How much do you sell? How much would you sell like the actual original sketch version for?
It would be hundreds.
And
the amount of money that I would make from that card in my lifetime.
And what if how much does someone pay for a piece of, like if this was reprinted on clip art, how much do you think Amber would make off of it? What, like a few pennies? Yeah, nothing. So yeah, not worth it. Claudia asks, do you teach about Facebook and HAA? So we don't dive into this because it's an Etsy course, but we do have one social media lesson where we talk about all the platforms and how to use them and what they're best for. And then you get to pick your top 3. But then in the very last module, of Handmade Alpha Academy, we do talk about building a Facebook group and how to build that fanatical following, because Facebook should almost always be one of your 3 main social media platforms. So we do talk about Facebook group building. We just don't do like an in-depth, like, here's how to make Facebook ads. You know, we don't dive into that because we are an Etsy course. We just have some bonus, you know, content on building that viral following that you need to survive on Etsy. So the Angry Mushroom Emporium says, how did you cope when your group only had a couple of likes or members?
I just persevered. I think that it was actually more of a personal experience for those smaller number of people than it would have been when I have 1,000. I have 1,000, I think. When it was just like 10 or 11 or so, I actually thought that we could have more of a conversation. So try and have a conversation with them and say, I've got nothing to do today other than try and have a conversation with someone. What can my conversation starter be? What's your favorite color? I think I might do a portrait just in the hues of those colors. And people go, oh, interesting project. Let me decide for you. They love it because they feel involved. And the less people you have, I think that actually you have more of an opportunity to build those raving fans. Those 10 raving fans could spend more in your shop than 1,000 people would on your page.
So the first 10 are like your most important because they
ran to join your group for a reason.
Yeah. And they believed in you when nobody else did.
They're OGs.
Your OGs. That's what we call them. Your original
OGs.
Gangsters. Your OGs. Emma said, does Amber ask her Facebook group about products that she's thinking of developing to get views from her fans?
I sneak ideas and then say, one of you lucky ducks, if you comment below, one of you will receive this in your next order. And people go crazy for it because they're like, oh my God, something new. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a surprise. And they even forget that it's coming. And they go, I forgot this was going to be in my order. And I'm so happy with it. How do I order? I sort of give them an indication that I'm going to release something new, need a bit of advice on what people would want, that sort of thing. But sometimes I just launch it with absolutely no hype whatsoever, and I still get the same reaction. I think you need to have a little bit of balance for both. If you're gonna have something like what I do, for example, I did nose portraits. I didn't even think anybody would order one. But
like animal noses, not like people noses.
The nose on a 4x4. This like this big, 4x4, and they've sold. And I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't think that they would sell, but what is the harm in trying to sell something that you think is quite fun? If you don't sell any, no one has to know that you didn't sell them. Just try
them. Yeah. That is so interesting. Now I'm interested in noses. Melissa asks, do you limit? Okay, so this is like if you take like an actual sketch order, which the Angry Mushroom actually asked, do you sell your originals? And she does, and they're very high end. Like that's your premium, right? Like your best, your like most high end is the original, and then she does the printed products. But Melissa asks, do you limit how many changes that you'll do? Have you had customers that are hard to please, that they take up more time than your prices really cover for? So they just want, like, they're not happy and they just want you to change it.
Yes, all the time. The majority, 99%, I would say, I'll be like, oh my God, love it, ship it, want it now. So, I mean, they get obviously the lovely treatment of the nice thank you note and everything like that. But there are those customers that are a pain. For example, Heather Gardner.
Who is now your maid of honor.
Who's now my maid of honor and one of my best customers. And they could be the absolute bane of your life, but they could turn into the best customer that you've ever had. And honestly, it is worth the trouble unless you really do feel like that person is a waste of time. You can tell. And after 3 years, I'd hope that I could tell. But there are people who, like, they order one and then they come back and they go, I want to order another 10. And I'm like, 10 what? 10 portraits. And I'm like, okay. And then I do those 10 and they're like, right, where do I purchase more? And they haven't even received them yet. So that one portrait that was an absolute knob to do has now turned into so many other orders. But there has been people that I've just gone, actually, I'm going to refund you because I don't think that I can please you.
So you fired them?
I don't fire them. I just say, I really don't think that I can help you with what you want. And to be honest, I have done them, and I've finished a whole portrait, and I've had to go, what you've just written of what edits you want, I can't do that. I'm sorry. And I was like, I can recommend, however, these people who can help you achieve this thing. And I send them to the people that I know have a bigger price list than me, have a huge waiting list of 3 years. And I'm like, yes, I know that they can do it, but there's a reason why they can do it. And there's a reason why their prices are so high. And I think then they do come back.
Yeah, then they come back. They're like, you know what? Never mind. I'm happy with how it is.
Yeah.
Now they're seeing that that's like a way where it looks like you're helping your competitors, but in reality, you're helping yourself. So that is very smart.
Some customers can be a little more entitled than others, I think.
Mm-hmm. Melissa, wow, Melissa has lots of questions today. Melissa has all the questions for you. She says, have you ever had someone love your art but dislike the product that you had it printed on? So like you, because you didn't create the product, did they didn't like the fabric of the tea towel?
I have had it where I had a wholesale order for I think it was a welfare group for a specific breed. I'm not going to name them. And I printed it, but it was different to the mock-up. And the mock-up I did, the image was bigger. I sent it to my company that do all of my printing for it, but they did it as big as they could, but it didn't match the mock-up. And I had to refund the whole order. And now I have 20 cushions that I have to flog to make that back up. So, I mean, it wasn't that they didn't like it. It was just it didn't match up, and it didn't match what they saw. I've never really had anybody that says I don't like it. I don't think.
Because they're buying your art, and I'm sure that you make sure that the product is good.
I make sure that the product's good.
Yeah, so
and
good.
I get another one.
Right.
At my own expense.
Wendy Work Art says, all right, Amber and Starla, you got me. I'm joining HAA in December. And Starla and Mark, I'm going to be sending you something soon. You're awesome, Wendy. And for those who are wondering, we'll be doing our next unboxing for the holidays, but you guys have to get products to us within by, I'm going to say maybe like the first week of December, because if we want to give products away for the holidays, for the big giveaway, you guys have to get those in soon. We have 3 packages now that we just got from our PO box. So
I'll send some more of these.
Well, don't show us.
3 of these.
Don't. Oh, for the giveaway.
Yeah, so I'll be sending these with my next post order.
I've got one. Yeah, I kept one that she sent. She was like, oh, you could give it away, but I had already wrote in it. I'm like, oh, it wasn't for me. Sorry. So now she's going to have some for the giveaway.
Scroll up.
I already looked through all of those.
Yeah, we're already well past where you said we were stopping.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, you said we were stopping. Let's see, where were we? Here.
Oh, okay. I guess we have. All right. Well, for those who, it doesn't really look like there's a lot of questions after that anyway. So for those who still have questions for Amber, whether that be questions about, her VIPs, growing her email list, HAA, like student perspective questions. What else did we cover today? Crazy customers, printing products on, other items. If you have questions for Amber, join the Handmade Alpha VIP group down below. That is our Facebook group. We kind of chatted up in there. We have lots of alphas. I think that we're up to over 6,000 now. It's a lot of fun. And if you're not a member yet, it is totally free to join and hang out with us. Feel free to tag Amber. All of Amber's links are down below. Her Etsy shop, her website, her VIP list, her Facebook page, where you can actually watch videos of her doing her sketches. So be sure to go show her some love. If you have anybody who would love her work, be sure to send them her way, because she has spent a lot of time with us today. And Amber, what time is it where you live? Because right now it's only 1:19 p.m. here. What time is it there?
18, 19, so just past dinner time.
So it is nighttime over there for Amber, and she's been with us for over an hour. Everyone is so excited. Share
a discount code for alphas on my website. There's alpha in capital letters on my website, and there's 30% off.
Oh, alpha.
Awesome.
Code alpha for 30% off on her website.
Which is more than my buddies.
Ooh, so alpha spoiling. When does that expire? So they know for the holiday.
I would say by December 1st. I'm going to put that as the expiry date, December 1st, because then it covers
replay.
Christmas. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, wow. And so now everybody's going to rush over there and check it out. So that's for her website, not your Etsy shop though, right? Because we're really trying to like push your.
I will add it to my Etsy shop. I just haven't added it yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, shop off of her website, support her. You know, she's already, Etsy is her funnel. If you really want to support her and help her, you know, not, you know, like to bypass those Etsy fees and things, you know, support her by going to her actual website, which is also linked down below. Now, the last thing that I want to answer is Cher asked, who do I contact for help in the group on Facebook? If for any reason you have trouble on Facebook, email me at starla@handmadealphaacademy.com. If you have any issues with anyone in the Facebook group or any issues like that, you can also tag our admins, Dolly and Lissa. Both of them are in the announcements. If you expand our group announcements, right now it's a picture of me and Mark, but if you expand those, there are our group rules and other announcements. So, Amber, thank you so freaking much for hanging out with us. This was so much fun. I was so excited to talk to you in person for the first time. Like, you have just been so amazing and so supportive and so helpful in our groups, even before you were in Handmade Alpha Academy. And you were like one of those people who I knew was going to join. But when you joined, you have just skyrocketed so much. And I cannot thank you enough for all of the awesome things that you've said. Totally, like, this was not planned. Amber is not an affiliate. I'm not slipping her 20s under the table. This was 100% for you guys. So thank you so much, Amber. We really appreciate it.
You are so welcome. It's been an honor. I've been blushing all evening. I'm like, oh,
me too. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Amber. Don't disappear, because you will still be on with us until we hang up on you. So, guys, have an awesome weekend. We're going to be going to Marc's very first show. You guys can follow his band.
And we've only got like 8 tickets left, so if anybody wants one, we had to steal them from another band just to have enough. So
his page is The Rendering Silence. If you guys want to check out some of his music, they will have some music posted after this weekend because I'm recording it. So we will see you guys later.
That's how you spell it.
The Rendering Silence. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.